Hello, YouTube. My name is Yama, and welcome back to episode 2 of our Ultimate Train Challenge. In this episode, we are going to be pushing towards green science and automating more things and making more rail infrastructure. We now have a copper cable being belted and put on a train. And we have steel being smelted. One step closer towards automation of train tracks, which is direly needed in this factory right now. So, without further ado, let's get cooking. So, like all good things in this factory, we need to first belt it, then chest it, then train it in order to get our automation process online, and stone is no different. So let's get our stone up and running right now and get those rails. It's quite exciting to watch this rail network grow, and it is getting out of control, and we don't even have green science automated yet. This is going to be one heck of a run. I do want to apologize in advance, how very Canadian of me, for all those engineers out there and those ratio perfect players, because this factory, and this episode in particular, is going to be, the word is triggering? And now the fun begins. So yes, there are definitely, most certainly, biters in this playthrough. The biters are probably just trying to get a little bit of revenge on me for the last few death worlds and other planets that we purged from their cousins and relatives, so good on them. Good on them for trying. A for effort. But in all actuality, it's a little bit odd that the biters decided to attack those train tracks instead of anything else. There's a lot of polluting targets in our factory, and they decided to go for the train tracks. They did end up killing one of my signals, which was kind of annoying because I didn't have any more signals on me. But, not very smart of you, biters. Not very smart. So now we're getting just that much closer to being able to automate our rails, which is mostly for me, obviously not for science because we're not at the production science pack yet, which I believe it is, the purple one. I think that's its technical name. But we, in a rail-oriented factory, need a lot of rails, and handcrafting them is horrible. So getting those automated will make it so I can open this factory up a little bit more. I don't actually know if I will. Probably keep it nice and tight and totally out of control, but it gives me the option at least. It's nice to have options. Everyone likes an option or two. Including Wall Street Bets. Those guys love options and love YOLOing their account. And they probably shouldn't like options. So most people should like options, but not everyone should have options. And there we have it. We are one step closer to having our rail. Rail is going to be very nice to have. And back to my regular stomping ground in Factorio, killing biters. This is my favorite pastime. Some people enjoy building racially correct factories. Some people like making beautiful designs. Some people like making pasta. I like killing biters. It's kind of my thing. So right back at home in this playthrough. So it's good. It's good to be home. And there's one thing to remember. I'm doing my part. Are you? Would you like to know more? And now we do a quick perimeter sweep and see if we're going to get any more biter aggression in the near future. One thing we kind of really want to avoid with this factory is we currently have no defenses. It's a rail world, so there's no biter expansion on, which is arguably the best setting in Factorio, the rail world setting. We don't want to lose any trains, mostly because they're really our buffer chests, and we also don't want to lose our buffer chests. So this factory is going to be really heavy into trains, obviously. There's going to be a lot of trains, and we're also going to have a lot of buffer chests. So losing a chest is pretty tragic. Losing an assembly machine, whatever, no one cares. But losing a chest full of items is kind of sad. And now that we've verified that our perimeter is mostly secure and we're not aggressing any biters in the immediate near future, we're going to jump right back into getting our rail online. So we have a nice little area here. We got our assemblers already set up, so we just need to bring in our stone and our iron sticks. It's a little bit tragic that there's a big stone deposit right next to me and I can't use it. We have to put it on a train first and then cart it across and then use it, but those are the rules of the land, so we play by the rules here. So, and then we also need to get our iron sticks, so we set up both our stations and let's go from there. We're going with a pretty typical unloading station on the budget. So we just have 2 assemblers, or 2 inserters rather, and going into a double buffer chest and then 2 inserters out. Once we get more automation, we can fix these. But for now, we just need it to work. We don't need it to work good. We just need it to work. And that's kind of my motto. It just needs to work. So we have our stone unloading station and our iron sticks, and our steel is right to the left there, and we are automating rails, almost. And as I casually cross the tracks here, we have our first near miss. A little instant rewind action there to watch it, but that was danger close. That was very, very close to hitting us. A few pixels off, it looks like, almost. We were less than a second off of getting our first train death. So far, there is a 0 at this factory. But as we continue running for our lives and dodging trains, we must continue building more train tracks. So let's get some iron sticks automated here, put onto a train, and sent over to our train tracks. Quite easy. Beautifully fits in here. There's a lot of cliffs in this area. It's getting tight, but nothing a little past it can't fix. And there we have it. We have the assemblers for our sticks, and we just run the sticks towards our train buffer chest and then send our train off to location, and we have train tracks automated. And it's quite the process, but we have a little bit of a factory going on here, and it's starting to look good, and it is good. But we can't stop there. We still need to get more things automated. We need to start pushing towards our green science. So now that we have rails mostly automated, we need to start getting our green chips up and running. And this is where some people might get a little bit triggered.
Diagonal.
Just in case people didn't realize what I was doing there. Definitely doing a diagonal offloading of an item people don't even like to belt to begin with. We call it the copper cables. So we're going to have the copper cables being unloaded on a diagonal. It just fits in nicely. It just works. And in order to keep with the factory being nice and tight, nice good boil of pasta here, we're going to unload on the diagonal, and then we're going to make our green chips here, and it's going to be good. It's not going to be good. We're going to make it great. It's going to be great. And this is where I say, I'm sorry, but not sorry. At the same time. So now we just need to pull in the iron plates, and we are making green circuits. It's actually a pretty momentous occasion for this factory. Once we get the green circuits up and running, we are one step closer to getting our science automated. So green circuits go into green science, and we are rolling from there. So now that we do not have to worry about ratios anymore because we are belting and training our copper cables, we just make some green chip assemblers. We have our iron coming in now. We have our copper coming in from a diagonally unloading a train, which is, it's kind of beautiful.
Diagonal.
It's kind of beautiful. We just set this up, and we need to make a station for it. And then we're off to automating our assemblers. This is getting exciting. The factory is doing factory things, and we are producing. No one can say this factory is not producing anymore. It's doing good things. It's working as intended. But one thing I do know already, and I'm predicting this as it starts, as the factory is starting, and it's quite condensed, is this is going to be a nightmare to upgrade. You can always just upgrade your inserters and upgrade your belts, but because how space confined this factory is between all the train tracks and everything, at the end of this series, this is going to be the biggest mess I've ever seen in Factorio. There's no way, because I'm not even at green science, and that's what my mini map looks like. It is going to be so out of control. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So now we set up our green chip train station. We are going to do a double-headed locomotive with a one cargo wagon, and we are going to load on the one side and unload closer to our assemblers, or our inserters rather. And we're going to start making our green science. We're getting close, very close to getting green science automated. And we're trying to consistently ensure that our trains are getting fueled. It's just one less headache for me when trains run out of fuel on the tracks, trying to figure out why my deadlock is happening. This should prevent it, as long as I'm consistently remembering to fuel all my trains. And I'm sure I'll forget one or two, but we got to start somewhere. So we're going to load our train in, coming in the tracks here and down there, and that is our green station automated. And we'll quickly run north here and set up a unloading station for our green chip. So we're loading down south a little bit, and then driving the train all the way up, and then unloading there. So get that station up and running. And as we start this process, we realize that our train tracks aren't chesting and they're not unloading. So let's get that going too. Make a little buffer for myself so I can keep getting rails. I don't have to handcraft them, because handcrafting rails feels bad. And of course that steel train is not going to fully buffer anytime soon, so we'll just manually send it down and start automating the train tracks a little bit more, get some rails and get that going, and we should probably defend these chests. It's kind of at the outskirts of the factory, and losing these chests would feel bad, so let's dump some turrets down and defend our chests. Don't really care about anything else, just the chests. Just defend the chests. So now we are inching ever closer to automating our inserters. We have our green chips fully automated, dumped into a train and unloading, so we're allowed to use them. We have our iron plates, which are producing kind of slow. We might have to deal with that and kind of tweak some stuff there. And we have our gears automated, so we are pretty much good to go. We just got to run everything up and get our assemblers automated. And that is one of the big chunks for our green science, our logistics science pack. That's pretty exciting. That's going to be good. That's going to be big. And then we can start teching again, because right now all the techs we have available require green science, and we do not have green science automated. So let's get it. So we do a little bit of our typical pasta with belts instead of trains this time, which feels really natural for me. Feels good to be back to belts as opposed to using trains. But everything's unloaded onto a train that we're using, so it's fair use. And we are going to pull it across and get our assemblers automated somewhere in the north there. And then we can be pulling our production science down. So we are close now. We are what they call danger close in the military. Very close. Now we have 3 belts running in the same direction together. It's practically a bus. Practically a bus playthrough now at this point. And there we have it. We have all the ingredients brought up, untrained, pushed up towards the north, and ready for assemblers. I do like this 3-belt setup you can do on the front. I'm not sure where I learned this first, but you do the double long arm inserters, and you can be pulling from 3 belts as opposed to 2 on the front. It's a really nice setup. It's pretty clean, pretty space efficient. Not that we really care if it's space efficient or not, but it's a really well done design. One of my favorite go-to designs. I normally use this setup for labs, but in this case, we'll use it for assemblers, because why not? Why not? But at the end of the day, a variety of different setups I think is the way to go, and yeah, it's just clean looking. I like it. I give this setup an 8.5 out of 10. Not perfect, mostly because we got slow inserters, and we did actually put the gears in the front, which was the right decision. But I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's solid, but not the best. Just solid. So now, like all things Factorio, we are short on resources, so we're not getting enough iron anymore. It's taking a long time for the trains to buffer. We have a full train requesting iron sticks. We have a full train requesting iron gears. We have trains holding iron plates. We got buffers all over the place, so we just need to make more, faster, stronger. More, faster, stronger. And now we need to start bringing in our last ingredient for our production science pack, our belts. So we will just make a quick double-headed train here, and we can send our belts off, which are already automated, to the north. We need to defend the north because winter is coming. Winter is actually coming. It's September here. It's gonna get cold soon. I'm in Canada. And in the north, we're actually producing, or we're going to be producing, our production science pack, so we need to ship this up north. So connect our train, get it all ready, and off to the races we go. And we are so close now to our production science pack, I can almost taste it. We just need to hook this last couple trains up and get them unloading and load them into a final train. So there's still a few more steps, which gives us just a little bit of time to start making some more pasta, belt pasta with belts on it. Best kind of pasta, I guess. We do need a buffer chest as well, since we're going to turn the direction of the belts going to the left instead of the right. We'll add a quick little buffer on the side so our own personal consumption has belts. And then we run it down and we are good to go. So we are just one step closer. Just so close now. So close. But in the meantime, one thing that is always nice to have in your factory is radar coverage. So if you're outside of your range, you can still see what the heck is going on. So we are sure to continue dropping some radars around the factory because eyes are good. Being able to spy on your own factory and making sure it's producing is an important thing. It's good to do. So we'll go ride the rails to the north and start our final step in producing our green science. It's been a journey so far. It's been a process, that's for sure. So now we assemble one of our final loops in the rail network, getting us to green science. This is one of our unloading stations. We are very close. We're super close right now to getting that production science up and running, and this is exciting because I can start teching again and we can start progressing the factory. I'm super worried about future production. It's going to be a mess, but as long as we have red science, we can start making some proper defenses, maybe make a car eventually, moving on. It's going to be good. It is going to be good, and I'm loving it. And that is not a McDonald's advertisement. So now we are unloading our belts and we're unloading our inserters. We just have to run them towards our green science. Then we need to load our green science onto a train and then unload our green science into the laboratories, and we're doing it. We're doing the thing. It's a decent sized factory for green science. We're probably producing 10 a minute. It's almost just it's a mega factory with none of the production. Just the size. All size, no function. It's a form over function kind of factory. But there we go. Green science automated. It only took 2 videos to get there. And 4 hours of gameplay. That's it. Just 4 hours of gameplay. Condensed into 2 videos. It's good. It's good. We turboed there. The mini map looks great. It's a heck of a mess. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. The final train. The train loading the green science. This is so close. We need to load it, and then we need to unload it. Then we need to feed it into our laboratories, and we have automated green science. It's quite the feat, and we have quite a few trains in the factory right now. And by quite a few, I mean far too many, but that's just the way I like it. I like trains in Factorio. Trains are probably one of the more fun things to see turboing around the factory. It's nice to watch belts load and unload and empty and do their thing, but trains, a full factory with tons of trains looks so good to watch. Just sit and stare. So, like all things, this episode must eventually come to an end, and I would like to give a quick shout out to all the YouTube members who signed up that way. I didn't even know that was a thing until about a week ago, so cool, thank you. And the new patrons who decided to support the channel, very generous of you, thank you so much. And everyone who just watching the video, thank you very much for your support, for your comments, for your likes. There's a couple of you disliking the videos, and that's okay too, but yeah. Until next we meet, this is Yama. Have a good day. Ciao for now.